Stories are one of the few things that truly transcend time. Across generations, we share countless tales, the lessons they carry, and those brief, shiny moments of joy that bring people together. One such story comes from .hack. Many of you watching right now know the rhythm of these games. Someone logs into an MMO called The World for the first time, encounters events that shake them to the core, and is set on a path towards truth. We witness their struggles, their growth, the connections they form along the way. These stories left a lasting mark on me, and they became the spark that pushed me to create something of my own. Inspired by the .hack series, I want to share a project that I've been working on for the last couple of years. Welcome to the world. Hey, hello you beautiful people past, present, and yes, even those of the future, welcome back to another video. And today, I want to talk about a tabletop RPG that I've been working on that is inspired by the .hack series. Regeneration is a cooperative role-playing game that lets you create your own stories within the world. It was built on Infinite Generation, an official .hack tabletop RPG created by CyberConnect. While Infinite Generation is simple and works best for one-shots or short sessions, Regeneration expands upon that foundation into a system designed for long-term campaigns. Using the classes and races from .hack GU as a starting point, I expanded upon the available options to give players more freedom as to how they want to build and create their characters. Before we dive in though, please go ahead hit that subscribe button if you want to see content like this, hit the like button, and also leave a comment down below. What kind of character would you like to make if you were to play the system? With that out of the way, let's get into it. Regeneration uses an updated version of Infinite Generation's core system. In the original game, players used pre-made characters with fixed abilities. To activate certain skills or spells, you rolled a single die to see what action you could take. That same die was used for almost everything outside of combat as well. Infinite Generation was clearly designed as a short-form experience rather than a long-term campaign system. I first learned about this system through .hack Network's short. I'll leave it in the description down below. The original character sheets and rules were released in a magazine exclusive to Japan, and the game was never fully localized anywhere else. Fortunately, fan translators later converted the entire system into English, making it accessible for a wider audience. That discovery sparked an idea. What if I took the die-based system in this game and made it much more expensive, something deeper and more flexible? On February 23rd, 2023, I began a new project with the goal of turning Infinite Generation into a full tabletop RPG. Drawing on my years of experience with Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, I started breaking the system apart and rebuilding it piece by piece. I began with the classes. Every class from .hack GU made the jump into Regeneration, including things like the Adept Rogue, Shadow Warlock, and many others. These classes became the foundation of the system, and I replayed GU a lot, watched the story breakdowns, and dug into the in-universe lore of the world to better understand its tone and its themes. All of that research eventually shaped what Regeneration would become. At its core, Regeneration still uses a single die to determine what actions you can take. However, there are several key changes that expand on this idea. In Infinite Generation, skills and spells were permanently assigned to specific numbers on the die, with very little variation between characters of the same class. Regeneration introduces the dynamic die system. Players assign their own skills and spells to the faces of their die, and that die grows as they level up. You begin the game with a D6, and by max level, you will be rolling a D12. As the die grows, so does your versatility, allowing you to bring a much more wider range of skills and spells into combat. In many tabletop RPGs, you can freely use abilities at any given point. Relying on a die to determine your options can seem strange and even limited, both mechanically and narratively. A common question is why you can't simply cast skills or spells freely and whenever you want. This concern is completely fair, and it is something I address directly into the design. The skill trigger system allows you to designate up to 2 skills or spells that you can freely use without rolling for them. This ensures that your character always has access to reliable tools when it matters most. At higher levels, the system opens up even further. You can roll multiple dice and choose which result you want, and certain class features or talents allow you to manipulate these results. This gives players more control while still preserving the identity of the die-based system. Leaving actions to chance might seem like it removes player choice, but I like to argue that it is the exact opposite. Think about how many games overwhelm players with features and abilities and the list that comes with them. How many of those options do you regularly use? Anyone who has played Dungeons & Dragons knows how long combat can take, often because players are sorting through dozens of abilities that they rarely use. By assigning abilities directly onto the die, Regeneration asks you to think carefully about what matters most with your character. Where you can place an ability on the die becomes a strategic decision, almost like solving a puzzle before a fight even begins. Early levels are especially important. Unlike many systems where players rush past the starting levels, Regeneration uses those early stages to gradually teach the core mechanics. By the time you reach higher levels, you will be already comfortable with the system, which keeps the game moving forward smoothly. Through years of playtesting, I have found that the die system leads to faster, more fluid combat. Most of my games involve 3 or 4 players, and within a 2-hour session, we got through 4 or 5 combat encounters while still leaving room for roleplay. Compared to other systems where single combat can last up to an hour, this approach respects the player's time without sacrificing depth. About a year into creation, I ended up making my first new class for this system, the Chakra Machinist. The Chakra Machinists are the engineers of the world. They maintain the machines, structures found throughout the cities like Makanu, Daldana, and Bergapona. By harvesting energy from Chim-Chims, they power everything from simple tools to massive constructions. Some of their creations, for better or worse, have made their way beyond the city walls. Remnants of their ancient technology still exist as monsters, items, and even a colossal cannon aimed towards the sky. This class features 2 subclasses that reflect that history. The Mechromancer specializes in a mechanical companion, using a Mecha Grunty to assist in battle and exploration. These constructs often take flight, helping Machinists search distant areas for long-lost technology. The Infusionist focuses on equipment enhancement. Using Chim energy, they imbue weapons and armor with special effects such as SP reduction or damage nullification. Many adventurers seek out Infusionists before setting out on dangerous journeys. Around this time, I also changed the name of the project from Infinite Generation Revision 2 to Regeneration. The new name reflects the idea of renewing interest in the .hack series while giving players the tools to create their own memories within the world. I also thought that the name was slightly better, and it's not much of a mouthful. The next 2 classes I will talk about are designed with unique mechanics in mind. Mirror Mimics are adventurers who roam the world studying its monsters. Using a specialized mirror shield, they can copy enemy abilities and spells. These stolen techniques are then transcribed into scrolls and sold in shops. Mirror Mimics learn relatively few abilities on their own, but they have the potential of acquiring nearly every enemy skill in the game, exploring explosive abilities normally reserved for monsters. The Fury Polymorpher is the final class introduced in Regeneration. These characters can transform into monsters themselves. Dragons, fairies, and even massive crustaceans are all within their reach. Drawing on the power of natural elements, polymorphers adapt their forms to survive. Lore-wise, polymorphers were once nomadic people who lived alongside monsters. When the Abyss became corrupting the souls of the creatures across the world, they were forced to evolve. With enough experience, they could take on the forms of the most powerful beings in the game. With the introduction of the new classes, my goal had been to further flesh out the lore of the world itself. Enemies now feature an expanded background information recorded through the notes of the Mirror Mimics. Monsters that once lacked any meaningful description have now been given journal entries that explore their origins, habitats, or behaviors. A good example of this is the Blaze Drake. These dragons was revived by Chakra Machinists from ancient fossils discovered throughout the world. Their natural frail bodies have been reinforced with sturdy steel plating to protect their volatile fiery cores. In recent years, however, Blaze Drakes are most commonly used as glorified watchdogs, guarding the symbol fragments of beast statue temples. Another example is the Carry, In the lore of the world, carries have a strong aversion to revealing their true forms and clinging to their shells when attacking. It is long believed that if their shells were ever broken, carries would fly into a vicious rage, attacking anything nearby out of humiliation at seeing their faces. In Regen, this concept has been expanded further. Carries have been observed in various root towns. They act more as mischievous troublemakers rather than outright threats. Some carries have even learned from other races, hoping to one day take part in adventures themselves. Each aspect of the world's lore is expanded to provide deeper immersion throughout the story. It's these small additions that help flesh out everything the game has to offer, and it's something I truly hope I can deliver on. Now let's talk about races. Just like in .hack.GU, there are humans and 3 variants of beasts, but in Regen, the roster has now been expanded to 9 different playable races. First up is the Grunty. These adorable pig cow things are commonly seen as assistants in various guilds throughout the world. Grunties are famous for their triangular hats and distinctive speech patterns. Due to their peaceful nature and excellent communication skills, they're often entrusted with managerial roles at important facilities and served as secretaries to VIPs. Their unique racial ability allows them to influence and alter the luck of those around them. Next is the Vital Vista. Vital Vistas are artificial dolls created by humans and powered by Steam. They possess varying degrees of consciousness and intelligence and are easily recognized by their featureless faces and short, rounded bodies. Their defining trait is their Steam-powered armor, which grants them increased health and physical defense. This durability comes at the cost of speed, so you won't see Vital Vistas darted around the battlefield. Elves are a race that had been believed to have been died out long ago until recently. They are said to be the ancestors of both humans and beast races. Though few never exist within the world, they are deeply attuned to the spirits around them. Through this connection and their innate magical talent, they are capable of recovering lost arcana by channeling this spiritual energy. And how can we forget about monster races? Yes, there are even some playable monster races in the system. Goblins, for example, are usually encountered as enemies. However, in recent times, some have developed the ability to speak and offer trade to adventurers. Their small stature and nimbleness allows them to escape hostile situations with incredible speed. And finally, let's return to the carry. I briefly mentioned them earlier, and since they have already been seen in some root towns in GU, I thought it would be fun to make them playable. Their core feature revolves around the shell they carry. At higher health, the shell provides damage reductions. Once they drop below half health, they gain an insane burst of movement speed. With so many options available, each race brings something unique to the party's dynamic. After more than 2.5 years of development, Regeneration has grown beyond what I originally intended. What started as a simple 2-page concept evolved into over 300 pages of material, covering everything you need to know to create and enjoy your own adventures within the world. If you decide to play Regen for yourself, be sure to share your thoughts in either the comment section of this video or over in .hack Network's Discord in the TRPG hack section. That is where I'll also be posting future updates. And if there's a role that doesn't quite work for your table or something you think could be improved, don't be afraid to change it. Talk it over with your GM, test the idea, and see how it feels. This is a work in progress, and every idea is worth exploring. It's because of all of you that I found the inspiration to create this system, and I hope Regen gives you a fun way to pass the time and create lasting memories with good friends. Yeah, this is totally off script, but I want to thank each and every one of you for just stopping by to watch the videos, subscribing, leaving comments down below. I mean, we are almost at 800 subscribers at the time of making this video. We started the beginning of the year with less than 500, and so many of you have interacted with the video, shared me your thoughts, and just, you know, I've met so many people through this platform, and I cannot be more appreciative enough of each and every one of you that just stops by and says hello. I mean, I truly mean that from the bottom of my heart. 2026 is going to be a big year for this channel. Like, there's just so many ideas I have to just work on. I want to try, you know, just to throw out there for you guys. And while I'm not sure how it's going to work, I know that you guys are going to be worth it. just seeing your reactions is going to make this 100% something that I want to try to do more frequently. And so, with that, friends, I hope all of you have a Merry Christmas if you celebrate Christmas. But if not, either way, I do appreciate each and every one of you. I hope you stay classy, stay beautiful, but most importantly, have yourselves a good holiday. I appreciate every single one of you.